remember.
Oh, welcome to the Generation Podcast, episode 290, with, once again, sad enough, Patrice.
Oh, hello!
We, the two of us, just watched multiple Miley Cyrus videos in a row,
Yes,
new
we
videos,
did. Yes, we
and
did.
we now are no longer bullshitting you when we say that we are indeed sex positive.
We are sex positive to the core,
Yes.
but our position on condoms has not wavered.
We are not condom positive and never will be. I doubt Miley Cyrus is either.
Fuck no, not the way she was filming.
Not a
that.
witch, hey, well, that doesn't imply sexual promiscuity or sexual intercourse. It just showing that you want to get down for some money. That's all.
That's a hard thing to differentiate.
No.
I think a little bit.
She doesn't necessarily fuck.
Well, I'm like reading the writing on. I think she is telling us as much as she can about wanting to fuck without saying she wants to fuck.
That other video, she seemed like kind of like indifferent to partying and then indifferent to everything. She's in a fucking pool.
She looked
so
like
the one
she
for
was,
Slide Away.
Yeah, she Slide Away, which actually Andy made a great analogy. She looked like a sexy elf.
Sexy elf.
Sexy elf.
If you're listening, Miley, we'll have you on just because you've been on all these other shows that are nemesis.
God, I'd
you're
love
a
to
sexy
have you
elf.
on. You are a sexy elf, and you can make me your troll bitch.
I'd let you ride me around. Not ride me. You wouldn't want to do that. But I'd let you ride me around this screen porch. You want to? Hey, Miley, if your reps are listening, come on Generation Podcast and ride me around like a horse around the screen porch of my parents' screen porch.
Yeah, there's like probably 35 to 40 square feet.
Yeah, it's great. You'll love it. I'll make horse noises. You'll love it.
We snow. You can. Wouldn't that be a great video for her to like be riding someone?
I want to be in it. I know a guy who's a video cinematographer, director of photography or whatever, for videos, and maybe I can use his connections to get us to Miley.
Yeah, just picture. You gotta find
video.
You gotta find a good song.
Yeah.
A song that talks vaguely about riding a horse. There's got to be one.
Yeah.
She has like a country background.
Those derby days.
Those.
And then she's riding a horse on the ground.
Riding a horse on the back porch.
Yeah.
Fucking
and
Andrew
now,
up and down.
Now I'm doing cocaine.
I'm doing cocaine. I'm in the picture of Jesus on the cross.
I'm actually secretly demisexual, which means I don't really have sex very much.
Demisexual?
Yeah, look it up. Look up on your phone right now.
Is that what I am?
No. Demisexual implies a choice.
Oh, fuck you. I have a choice if I want to have sex.
I mean, maybe you don't choose that sexuality, I guess, but maybe you do. We have to look up more about it. We're sex positive. Hashtag sex positive.
Demisexual.
And we're looking up demisexual for Patrice for the official definition.
What does demisexual mean? Here's 17 frequently asked questions about sex, attraction, and more.
Ooh.
Let's get through the ads. It's great that there's a kid's ad.
There's
right
a kid ad right above it.
Yeah.
Just like there's this random kid in the Miley Cyrus video for Mother's Children.
Yeah, it was like...
She's like grabbing her fucking pussy, and then there's like a quadriplegic, and then there's a child.
You can't fucking make this shit up.
And then she's grabbing the quadriplegic's pussy.
And she's like, oh, yeah. And then there's like a close-up of two colored breasts, nipples, like sword fighting.
Yeah,
what
the nipples were
nipple
fighting.
Yeah, nipple fighting.
Brushing. They were Eskimo kissing. Excuse me, nipple Inuit kissing.
Nipple, yeah. Thank you for not oppressing the Inuits.
Yes. Gotta give them a shout out.
There's probably like other northern people that live in the Arctic.
Fuck this shit.
They're like, fuck.
I'm not an Inuit, I'm an Eskimo, goddammit. What's that noise?
Oh, it sounded like a wolf.
Oh, and there's no wolves. We don't got coyotes or nothing out here. What you got about demisexual?
Yeah, back to demisexual. Demisexuality is a sexual orientation where people only experience sexual attraction to folks that they have close emotional connections with. Oh, so that's just being like a really genuine person.
They can't get a bone? No, okay. I feel like it's a fine line, right?
It's a sexual orientation, though. You can't, like...
I think it's bullshit.
I think it's fucking bullshit, too, based on that.
I'm sorry, but...
We're sex positive, but there's no such thing as demisexuality.
You're not persecuted if you're a demisexual, you are honored. At least as a woman, like, you're like, oh, she only goes for guys that, like, or women, if she's a lesbian or bisexual, that are, like, deeply important to her.
Yeah.
Let's persecute her. No,
Yeah.
that's like put on a pedestal.
Exactly. You're
That's
not
like
going to go up
valued.
to her and be like, "What? You want to take any dick on the street, Valerie?
Yeah, what's wrong with you,
You
Valerie?
fucking prude.
You fucking demisexual. Like,
You more like demon sexual.
yeah, exactly.
Fucking witch."
I feel like that is total bullshit. Does it say, like, I'm having sex with someone or that I'm attracted to them?
It says, "Is the sexual orientation people only experience sexual attraction?" So I guess it's a little vague. So you could have sex with someone but not be sexually attracted to them,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of shallow people probably do pretty frequently.
I've done that.
Yeah, so have I. I mean, I'm
To be, like, really, like, passionately sexually attracted or just, like, ho-hum sexual attraction?
like, wait, what?
Okay, I'll say this. If there, you could be like, I've had the fortune of experiencing a very small number of women that I was like, yeah, I'm attracted to you, like,
Yeah.
legit, like,
Okay. Yeah,
let's
me
go
too.
for this, and I'll to the point where, like, I actually
Like,
wanna
I kinda like you
I've
as
done
well.
it a couple times. And I still like, no, let's do that thing that we did. That was really nice.
That was
you know?
cool.
I was
With
still
you,
attracted
too,
to you.
like,
With you,
with
yeah.
you.
I respect you. And I want, not that I don't respect the others, but, like, it's more like I respect myself when I'm with you.
Ah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, man.
I think that's a great way to put it, because I've certainly... I've never really carried it, like, I've made out with a bunch of chicks on, like, dance floors and stuff where I'm like, it's just
But you
from,
didn't,
it's
you didn't
just
get
for making
anywhere
out.
with them because you called them chicks.
Yeah, you know, the chicks.
The
down-
broads, these broads.
The broads.
These cows broads.
Yeah, I don't think I ever, like, commonly be like, hey, man, check out that chick, dude.
Yeah, but it just came out while
It
you
did.
were talking about
It did.
them. Were you nervous about spilling your emotions?
Yeah, exactly. deep down emotions that don't come out often.
I feel like demisexual or whatever is something to aspire to, but
Okay.
I feel like it's not real.
It seems like unattainable because it says,
Right?
in other words, demisexual people only experience sexual attraction after emotional bond has formed. Which, that's wild. That sounds so make-believe. So that means
Right.
you can't be sexually attracted or think someone's hot while you're walking down the street. You see a beautiful woman wear, like, a bombshell. Some chick. And
She might as well be some fucking mutton prison guard.
Exactly. You don't give a fuck.
Carb, yeah.
Until you, but that also, I want to know how quickly that emotional bond forms. Are you just like,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
I'm demisexual.
Yeah, I'm
but-
so demisexual. But, oh, I'm gonna fuck. I just bonded.
Hey,
I bonded.
what's your name? Oh, bond achieved.
Bond achieved, yeah. Where are you from? Minnesota. Oh, bond achieved.
Fuck
I
yeah!
wanna
Guess
fuck
what?
you. I wanna fuck you so
Criteria
bad.
met, bitch.
Right, okay, so I want to hear, email us, degeneratnation@gmail.com. One day someone will. I want to hear from an actual, especially a male demisexual,
Yeah.
because I feel like there's a little bit of more leeway to be a quasi-demisexual if you are a woman,
Yeah.
a heterosexual woman, because you need, or maybe it's easier to be a lesbian demisexual. I have no idea. I mean, to achieve true demisexuality and, like, to only form the sexual attraction after an emotional bond, and not just any bond, but an emotional bond,
It's probably even easier if you're bi.
because you're already inherently more
Yeah.
attracted to everyone.
You're playing both sides of the field, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna get more game time.
Yeah. You're going to triple overtime every game.
Yeah,
out.
like every single one.
It's like I'm automatically attracted to over 50% of the population, because 30% of each gender is attractive enough, right?
Yeah,
And does that math
say,
play up? Or am I messed up?
No, I think that I would say maybe a little bit higher, but I think you're in the ballpark.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
say
yeah.
like that's actually a great. I've never thought about it like that. Like out of all the men in the world, and it's subjective to an extent, but like as a general rule of thumb, probably like 30 to 40% are gonna be good-looking people.
Yeah.
But think about how many ugly people are out there.
Oh, it's the same amount of percentage, and the rest are like tweeners.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Take one eyebrow away, make it two eyebrows. then they're good. You know, they're fucking. If you curl a guy's eyelashes, he looks pretty. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you get they need that makeup or
They
what?
need
Not
that- they
makeup,
need a
like
glow up.
makeover, glow up. They need a glow up.
They
so
need
they
a
can
glow
grow
up.
up the scale,
Grow up the
grow
scale.
up the charts.
I didn't fuck chicks in jail. It was only guys. I did my time. Then I realized I was a real man trapped inside a boy's body. I'm gay for real.
A boy's body.
Cause I was emotionally drained.
No, physically pain.
They told me I was insane. For some demisexual people, it may be friendship, including platonic friendship.
Platonic.
Yeah. How about like plate tectonic
It's
friendship?
platonic.
Platonic.
It's platonic.
It's probably
Platonic.
It's probably like people pronounce tomato.
You're so in the friend zone with women, except you're not, because you don't really have a lot of female friends, right? So never
Yeah.
mind. But like you're so in the friend zone that you call it platonic. Just to throw
No,
'em
I
off
called
the,
it
throw 'em off the
platonic
scent.
because I'm taking a fucking environmental science lab. And we just did.
Oh, okay.
We just did plate tectonics.
Plate tectonics. That's right. Are there any cute girls on your Zoom?
Dude, no. The only ones that have like pictures on their profiles are like fucking butt ugly.
Really?
Yeah. There's this one girl named Miranda. If you're listening somehow, you don't even know my real name, and you would have no connection. You should really take down that picture. It is not flattering. You look like
What?
Jabba the Hutt's cousin, who's like fucking, like slightly disabled, and you went to play softball, and you played through your teens, and even in your teens, you were the one person on the field that they let use the T, while you were still like 16 years old.
And Slava the Mutt.
Yeah, Slava the Mutt.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh God.
And she's such like a kiss ass brown noser.
Oh yeah.
She she sent a message to the whole entire class, not like the teacher, but the whole class. She was like, "Hey, would anyone be interested in making like a group study chat?" No one replied for 15 minutes, and then she sent another message going, "Oh, I went ahead and made it anyway. It's ha ha ha. Looking forward to studying with you guys.
Are you serious?
Also, I'm still a virgin."
So you're in a group message with these
Yeah.
people and you didn't ask to be?
Fuck no.
How many people left the chat and how quickly?
Well, it's on like this weird educational like.
Well,
app.
can you leave it?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I want you to see. Pull it up. I want to see you
Okay.
leave it. It'd be great. Leave it on air.
fuck you.
I wanna see the
Actually,
messages.
I want to. Oh, it's Natalie, not Miranda. But look at. She's not.
Okay, that's not her best photo, maybe.
It's actually that probably is her best photo.
She's like, no, you don't pick your best photo for your educational Zoom.
I mean, you don't.
You don't want guys sweating you hard in your Zoom. The creeps like you.
Yeah, like me. Yeah, the guys that it would follow through on a canvas. Fucking bullshit. You're invited to join my. Oh, it's a group me. I want to see how many people actually fucking joined it.
Please be 0 or 1.
This will be fun. Join group. It's got only 9 people out of like 35.
That's a lot, actually. She did a good job.
Should I
Nice.
join it just to hit on the semi-attractive
Yeah, let me
people
see
that
who you
joined
should
it?
hit on.
Salam Zagabe. Looks
We
like-
can't use real names. Just kidding. That's not a real name.
I butchered the hell out of it. She's not white.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What do you do to click on see more pictures of them?
You can't. It's just
What?
it's their profile picture.
Look them up. Look up that one.
I mean, we can here. We'll click on her.
Oh, and then you
And then it'll
you
say-
have a paper trail.
Actually, you can't click on it. It just says.
See, this is why she puts up the picture, because then guys, I'm sure that guy is probably doing the same thing. Like
Yeah, but
looking
who
her
the
up.
fuck poses like that for a picture?
A guy named
Nathan?
That's a
Yeah,
Nathan
and
thing to
it's
do.
just his name.
I got fired by Nathan. Fuck Nathans.
Yeah, I've never really met a Nathan I liked.
I've never met a Nathan I liked.
I met a
either.
Nathan that.
I met a couple of Nates I liked, but not any Nathans.
I met a new Nathan that overdosed on Xanax and heroin.
He died?
Yeah, he's dead as fuck.
Oh, bye, Nathan.
See ya! Maybe should have cared more about school, not sat in your room shooting up.
I bet if he had a hot Zoom group girls that he could then look up on Facebook, and he would have like got his fix that way.
I will say, I've never really done that with Zoom, but me and my roommates did this a couple times. Like such absolute like pieces of shit, just
Yeah.
like guys. It would be like syllabus week or the week before syllabus week when we would go back to school, like at the start of each like fall semester. It would be like a week of partying before, and you would sign up for your classes or you would change classes, and when your professor would finally post the list of like all the people that were in your class.
What? They do that?
Yeah, they do it.
Why? So you guys can breed with each other? So you can have slightly above
feel like-
average kids running around?
Yeah, I feel like that's the lowest reason, but it's like it's the
I feel
foundation.
it's creepy. They're not posting grades.
No, well, I
Like,
mean,
you're
yeah, they
posting,
don't
like,
post grades.
What? That's exploitative of women. Not what
And
you're
the
doing.
men.
What they're setting. No, they're not doing the same thing. You think?
Oh, I bet they are. I met girls that were like thirstier than me. That were like
You're not that
female-
thirsty. Maybe you were
At the
then.
time. At the time, I was like an average thirst level. Like I was hydrated, but like the point being, we would get the list in our class, and then you would jump to Facebook, and it's like the Facebook algorithm realizes after a couple searches that you're looking for like people that went to your school.
Yeah.
I'll omit my school name even though I've mentioned it tons of times.
Yeah.
Here's a little bonus question. If you're an avid listener and you know what school Patrice went to, shoot us an email or reach out to us on any of our social media accounts.
Instagram at Degenerate Nation Podcast, Twitter at Degenerate Show, or Facebook. You can use either Degenerate Nation or Degenerate Nation Podcast.
Oh yeah,
And
if
tell us what school Patrice went to.
man, maybe we'll post a titty pic of me with no face on the Instagram.
Yeah, I'd post your nipples on there.
Oh, I would too.
Yeah. What would we do like that so we get like banned? And like that was male nipples.
Those male nipples. Don't oppress male nipples. Free the nip.
The nip. Nippity nip.
We would take that list though, and you would search, and then you would come across like a couple girls that you're like, holy shit, this girl's hot as hell. Be like, all right, I'm gonna like scope this girl out on the first day. In reality, it's pretty fucking creepy. Like,
Yeah.
Like you're like stalking a girl before you met her. So I don't even know if you're pre-gaming the stalk.
I mean, you're just priming the pump, man.
It is priming the pump, but I think you're priming a little too far. You're priming into
Like in Groundhog Day, where he knows things about her, and he's like,
Yeah.
He keeps like extending the conversation. He's learning more things about her and extending the conversation because he knows he has another shot. Except this case, your other shot is like you saying that you have a common interest or whatever. You just casually drop in like motocross, and she's like, "Really? You like motocross?" Like,
you're like, no,
yeah,
I
you-
don't,
you know-
because I'm not,
Like-
this isn't the 1990s anymore during the sports
like
only
not
peak.
really, but I pretended to because I looked you up.
Yeah.
And you stare right at him.
She's like, oh my god, that's so flattering. You
Yeah.
went out of your way to try and find an attractive person to stick your dick in.
So my writing partner, we'll go back to what we were saying. My writing partner, years ago, he said that his friend like had gone to a party or something, or he was meeting someone, his friend's girlfriend's friend or something, and
Okay.
he's like, oh yeah, I googled you and you're a school teacher. Like she's like, what?
He's like, yeah, I know you posted that picture about Ryan. How's he doing? Is his broken arm better? And she's like,
Yeah.
what? That's my student. How do you know that? Oh, public access. It's all over the internet.
Jump.
Didn't I impress you with my research
Yeah.
skills?
God.
Ugh.
I did a stint in the psych ward. Unrelated.
Yeah, not related at all. Have you heard about paranoid schizophrenia?
Yeah. Let me educate you. You'd like that because you're an educator. But he's like, he joked about that. It was like, so I wasn't making fun of psych hospitals because I've been to one. So it kind of was because I'm able to because I've been.
Yeah, I've been to like the decaf version.
Yeah, decaf version, yeah. So, what? So did it lead to any like promising, like dating or hookups or at least friendships, like scouting them beforehand? I've probably done that at a party or for a party.
I mean, not-
but it's more to decide if I was even gonna go.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
Actually, I have done that.
Yes!
That's way easier. And
That's such less creepier than
Facebook, I don't use Facebook much anymore. I think it's
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah.
But the group functionality in Facebook has like always been great. And so you would get invited to like someone's like random like pregame or party on like a Friday night. And you would see the amount of people invited, and then you would go over and see the people that accepted, and you'd be like, all right, who's actually going to this thing? Am I going to actually spend my time here and waste my time?
Bad.
One thing I would also do on the flip side is after going to the first class, like, most of the time, I will say I didn't look at those lists before class.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to class, like, the first day of class, second day of class, maybe this girl added after the first day. And be like, damn, she's hot. I want to find out who the fuck she is. And you were sitting so far away, so you couldn't, like, try and talk to her without being a creep.
Oh, you just... I mean, okay, there's, like, middle-of-the-road creep moves. I'll tell you about them. One of them is you just slug around, and then so you're exiting the door at around the same time.
Oh, I would.
And
I
you
would
just
do
kind
that.
of catch, you just catch your face and make sure she's looking, and you just kind of smile like, "Hey."
Dude, I finished a test early one time that I wasn't prepared for, and I like fucking skipped out on like 15 questions just so I could leave the classroom at the same time as this girl.
Did you talk to her?
Yeah.
Did you get a number or anything?
I think it was. There was a ton of girls who like I got their number and was like there was obviously mutual attraction, and we would hook up like once or twice, and then it just wouldn't go anywhere. So,
that's fine.
I mean, it's okay. There's just I don't remember. I know it happened.
I mean, it's much. I feel like it's much better to do it via like a party or a bar or like an app than it is to like do it in class where you're.
Because then
like,
you have to see that person again.
That, to a degree, yeah, absolutely, and also like, but you're there to like learn and like just mostly learn and look to stay awake. Yeah. Honestly, I studied communications. I was interested in the material.
Yeah.
But I mean, I process it pretty easily, so sometimes I would still get bored,
Mm.
and so I would just like what kept me from like kind of drifting off. It wasn't respect for the professor or like anything like that. It was just like I'd look around the room and there was a lot of attractive girls at Michigan State, and I'd be like, oh, what's up? All right, I'm awake now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stare at you for 3 minutes.
Stare at you. My imagination's gonna keep me awake.
Yeah, exactly. I'm fucking you secretly in my imagination, in my mind.
Yeah, in your teacher outfit.
And then you get back like in your prime, and you're a school teacher.
School teacher.
It's like
you teach second grade to talk about elementary.
Yeah. God, what a creep. That's fucking hilarious.
This yeah, I agree. That's a good point, but I would try for whatever reason, I just always like ended up like in each of my classes I like made it a mission unconsciously to like have a thing with like a girl in one of my classes, and I was a sophomore and there was this freshman who was super thick,
nice,
slim thick, super attractive, fantastic ass, very cute. And within like the first couple weeks of class, I had hooked up with her, and like kind of like fell off and was just kind of an asshole. And I remember like snapping her in class, and she would be like Snapchatting her like she was 5 seats over, and I was like, this is a dumb move by me, because she was like, oh, you want to hang out again, or something. She like ridiculed me. She was like, yeah, what kind of sophomore tells a freshman he likes her and then doesn't talk to her again? And I was like, oh, this guy. Do you want to hang out? And she was like, sure.
What an idiot. It's like, what kind of sophomore? Like, I just think it's funny, like, looking back, where the age of a guy was, like, an impressive credential. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm in this in-between age where it's not. No one's impressed by I'm 38. Because then, first off, that's not inherently impressive. Like, it's
Whoa,
not,
man, you're 38?
You're 38, that's great. It's like...
You're 2 years off of 40? Holy
yeah,
shit.
It's like, oh my god, you're almost 40. Or like, why haven't you done anything? Or like, it's just like so quickly points to your accomplishments, like juxtaposed with that there's no advantage. But if you're like...
Say 24.
About 30, or early 30s and someone's like mid-20s, and it's like, that's like an attractive thing.
It's because they're like established.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not sure if 38 is attractive to say like 32, 33, 34, 31, 30, 29, or whatever. Like,
I think it is in comparison.
I guess.
I think it is in
compared
comparison.
to you.
Well, no. In comparison to any ages higher than you.
Not necessarily.
I would say in most instances, like if a girl's like, oh, how old are you? And you're like, oh, I'm 38. And she's like, oh, well, at least he's not 39 or older. Like.
Yeah. No, they don't think that way.
I know. I was just trying to.
We think that way.
Yeah, we do.
I mean,
I'm looking for like the silver lining.
I feel like I'm open to a wider range of age than maybe I need to be or should be.
Yeah.
Or could be, because I think like, okay, maybe there are a lot of women that aren't looking to have kids, or they have a kid or whatever, or something. and they're a little like a year or two younger than me, or up all the way up to like 7, 8 years older than me, and that's fine. And I'd be like, I could actually get along with them because they know what I'm referencing, and I would know what they're referencing and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's great. Cool. I'm open to that. Otherwise, I would prefer something younger.
I was gonna say, man, I think that lower range for you can easily drop down. That's just not the way I'm thinking. I think realistically, you could like late 20s, early 30s, depending if a girl's looking for a slightly older guy and
a graying gentleman,
a graying alpha.
An alpha. I'm a fucking alpha. I was on the casting couch. Sitting at the right hand of the casting couch, the right hand of the Father.
The right hand of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
But like this, you'll find this funny. I hope. I'm including on this shit show. So I was doing my second fantasy draft last night for my team, Sluts from Claire's.
Nice.
The mall themed league.
The mall themed league.
Which, Oriental fast food is another funny one that my cousin has.
Granted, before what was it? Come Sluts for Claire's?
No, not cum sluts for Claire's.
What's it?
Sluts from Claire's?
Oh, sluts from Claire's.
Sluts from Claire's.
That would be more funny. Before that, when I was trying to help Andy with names for that team, I gave him, which I still think is personally more funny, Ani Annie's Anal Beads.
Yeah.
Which is
it's
great.
Pretty good.
But continue.
Yeah, I drafted 7 rookies.
Holy
on my
shit.
team. And my average age of my players, or experience age of years in the league, is 1.9. I'm so fucked.
Why? Why'd you draft all rookies?
Because I didn't have a 5th, a 6th, or 7th round pick. I had much later picks.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like 3 16th round picks and like
nice.
2 14ths and
How
2
did that?
12s.
Is that just the way it was? The pool
I
was
made
set
it.
up?
I made some trades. I made some trades last year because I made a push for the playoffs. It worked. I got into the playoffs, and when you get there, literally almost anything happened. But I think I finished 5th or something.
Okay.
Because 6 teams make the playoffs, you know. But anyways, I was thinking playoffs. Trying to win a game. There's a realization that like I could be the father of these 7 players. Like I'm old enough to be their father, and I'm like drafting them in a fantasy league.
You're like, come on, son.
Yeah,
get me that first down.
I was like, does that mean I should stop hitting on girls at the mall?
Yeah, but only because I think the average age of girls at the mall falls a lot closer to like legal issues.
I'm talking about broke down managers, man.
Okay. Not like the girl
I'm talking
sitting
about the
around
girl
the
who
fountain.
runs the Auntie Annie's, not the one who's like scooping out the salt.
Yeah.
Not that motherfucker.
Because that's very true. The managers are usually like 30 to 35, 36.
Older sometimes. Or younger.
But most of them are pretty cute, too.
Younger and like crisped. Yeah. Burnt out. Crispy.
I think that...
Them crispy broads.
I want a crispy broad.
I want a crispy broad.
I want a medium rare.
I want a slut from Claire.
I want a slut from Claire's. And I wanted to get some anal beads from Aunt
Yeah,
Annie.
I was like, hey, can you give me a good discount on a choker? Yeah, I can do that. Good. Because I want you to wear a choker for me. I think it's hot.
She's like, oh my god, that's the hottest thing anyone said here to me, and I've worked here for 5 years.
Yeah.
No one shops at fucking Claire's.
No one shops at Claire's. I go unnoticed. I'm like window dressing.
Oh man, I think being 24, man. I think
it's a rough time, honestly.
Well, I think
it's a rough age.
I think every age for me is a rough time.
Yeah.
But with 24, like, I don't know, at 22 and 23, I could still kind of get away with like.
23 is such an afterthought. It's not at 22 because it's not like it's so young. 23 is like, oh, he's just a year or two behind. It's fine. It's fine. And 24, you're like, all right, we're starting to open the gates for you.
Yeah.
Are you coming in or no?
Exactly.
Life gates.
When my mom was 24, she already had 2 kids.
Jeez, she got around.
Yeah, the bedroom with one guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was gonna say, dude, 24. I can't really get away with, or it's like it doesn't sit well with me to be like hitting on or like talking to girls that are like 18, 19. I think I need them to be at least 20.
I mean, 20 is kind of
20's kind of the
20's
same.
kind of the same. Honestly, like...
It's like 21 maybe should be my, like... I only say that because, like...
You just have to be so discerning.
Yeah.
As far as, like, what their mentality is like.
Yeah, I know.
Because otherwise there's just a bag of flesh.
Yeah. There needs to be a vetting process.
They're an attractive bag of flesh to you, right? And your brain tells you, well...
And make him sound like a fucking serial killer.
Yeah, this is okay because I'm only a couple years older. I'm not that super experienced with life myself, and I look young. It's fine.
And I look young, and I'm gonna look younger once I fucking skin you and put your skin on mine.
Lavender soaped, and lotioned skin on me. Beautiful skin. You have young, beautiful skin.
You have young skin.
I like to emphasize how young your skin looks.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank you.
Because you're just, at the end of the day, you're just a bag of flesh.
Yeah, you're a bag of flesh. Well, you know what I mean.
It's
just like empty-headed bag of flesh.
Like, yeah,
that's being waiting to be filled with mediocre ideas out of college.
Yeah, and semen, right?
And a lot of semen.
Because
you want someone that thinks differently, thinks like it has an old soul, even if they might be less experienced in certain elements, like
someone that like I know what I want, and I've found it a couple times, but it's rare. I'd also like to find someone that like is similar to me, not necessarily like the mental ailments side, but like dark sense of humor, funny, like quick-witted.
Quick-witted gets your wit.
That's important.
A lot of other things don't really matter.
I agree.
Has a good heart. They don't have to have a long history of using their good heart for good.
It just needs to be there.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be there. I mean, it helps, but then does it though? Because sometimes it can be more. If you're hanging out with a do-gooder that's been a do-gooder for a long time, it's somewhat intimidating. Or there's a part of you that's like,
that's true.
Is she really gonna go for me?
It's like, am I not good enough for her?
Maybe I'm not good enough. And then, like, once you think that, they can smell that.
And then, that's true, but you can also think your way around that point.
How's that?
You can have one of your friends like mug her in the middle of the night, and then you're the first person to show up and like save her, and then you kick your friend's ass, and then you pay him like $50 after.
You downgraded him, and your first he's
I was gonna say 100. It's like it's not that much.
Yeah, I guess you could do that.
Because then she'd be like, "Oh my God, you saved me."
I'm trying to think of women or girls.
Or you could save her from like an attempted rape. That might be better.
No.
Then she'll be like, "Oh, you might save me."
And then you see him at the party, you forgot that you fucking like invited him.
She's like,
traumatized.
You look exactly like the guy that tried to rape me.
Oh my God. No, like, I'm trying to think of some people that it's like girls that we had, there's not a lot of girls or women that we both know, right?
Yeah, and most of them are more so
younger and stupid.
Yeah.
But that...
One of which I want to fuck so badly.
So not that one, but that lifeguard seems like an older soul, a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, the one...
You know what I mean? I don't know what
one that's...
no, don't go there.
Like the Irish song? Like...
Yeah.
I
thought you were going to bring up some... that you knew that you heard about her. That's me.
That crossed my mind. I'm not gonna bring that up on the show.
Yeah. Anyways, like
that's
one. I think the only one I would say that's more of an old soul, because that one girl that the Indian girl is kind of like goofy.
She's goofy, but she also strikes me as being like
she's a little bit in that camp too.
A little
compared
bit
to
like,
the other ones.
Just like with it in terms of like I don't know,
sardonic or whatever, a little sharp.
Like, almost kind of, like, demisexual.
Would you say she's demisexual?
Yeah, I might.
Okay, we'll give her that.
She's a demigod.
Of all of them that we knew, I'd say she's probably the most demisexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think our old boss is demisexual?
In a demon way.
Yeah, fuck, no.
No, God. She posts, fucking like half-naked Instagrams, right?
Yeah, man, like, and then
tells you that you have a job over text, but only if you claim it.
Yeah, only if you claim it.
In a fucking group text.
It's like those ad emails you get. Time's running out. It's only 2 days left, and JCPenney's buy one get one off.
JCPenney's someone's gonna come shoot up JCPenney's. unless you fucking buy something.
You're like, oh God, which one?
Yeah, oh God, it's a local one too. I better go.
If you were a parent, would you rather have your kids shoot up drugs or shoot up a school?
Shoot up drugs.
What about, or shoot up a drugstore?
I'd rather. Drugstore. I'd rather me think that I failed than my genetics failed. Because at least I could live with that. I could have done something differently.
Okay, yeah. So
If that makes sense.
You'd rather have them shoot up drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most rational people would think that.
Yeah.
I don't know, the one... I don't know, man. He never really showed me what he had. Maybe this was his way of telling me, look, Dad, see what I can do.
Well, I just feel that's kind of like a good... I mean, it has one answer, but it's still a good question. It makes you think about it.
You said I didn't have good enough hand-eye coordination? I'll show you!
I've been playing video games forever.
Yeah.
And it desensitized me so much. And then I took this antidepressant, and then I went off of it, and then I went back on it. And that is why I did this.
Dude, a cycle of, like, different it's probably switching from one to another one.
Yeah.
And not having enough, like, rest time in between, or just not monitoring yourself well enough, or having other...
And being in a school environment, not having, like, the right parenting
Dude, I was...
traits. And have you ever thought about just, like... Not, like, wanting to do something or planning to do something, but just, like, dark thoughts that just be, like... How far removed am I really mentally from being do I have a school shooter personality? Is what I'm asking, like you.
I don't think either of us do. However, hear me out though.
I don't think you do.
I'm self-aware enough. I consider myself a really self-aware person. I'm self-aware enough to the point where I can tell when I have a thought that's like 15 steps up the road from, like, being, like...
A good person? Or
no, from,
person?
like, if school shooter, something like that, tragic event, where you just keep, like, no turning back, I can tell when I have a thought that's like, if I stuck with this mentality and sat on these feelings, and, like, kept all of this in for a long enough time and had certain events happen, I could see me getting to that point. It's, like, a long fucking road, but, like, I mean, I know what that feels like, to an extent. I know, like... feeling ostracized, outcast, and like
self-ostracized too, or just perceiving that you are hated, or you are, or worse, not even thought of.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
And that this is your world. This is always going to be your world.
And you can do like, I mean, it starts to get no one notices me. All right, well they'll notice me when I do that.
Yeah, and that's where the juvenile thing really comes in. I
agree.
Like, but when it's I feel like it's much even less preventable when it's like an adult that's doing something like a mass thing that's like it's somehow less scary. But to me, that's because I was in high school during Columbine.
You were,
and it freaked the shit out of me. Like the next day, I was like, we had a fire drill, and I was like, oh fuck, somebody's gonna just shoot us all up. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only person that was nervous, but I bet I was the only person that thought in detail. Like, we're gonna get shot. There's
probably other people, because that's a fuck up by the school. If it was planned, because they were like, oh shit, Columbine just happened, like, we should do a fire drill tomorrow and assess, like, how we react. You gotta tell people that. Or else, because you could send people literally into, like, panic attacks.
Yeah, of course.
Dude,
it was the early days of the old west of school shootings.
God, dude, there's some My sister was at Virginia Tech when that happened. She was a freshman. Her building, she was in class while it happened. She was, like, a couple buildings down from, like, where that fucking piece of shit went in and killed people.
She was in there while he was in two buildings down?
Yeah, she was, like on the same side of campus.
So she was locked down in her building?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
I'm pretty sure it was a freaky day, man. Remember coming home in the car?
I was really disturbed by that one too.
I was fucked up by that one.
My brother could have been there. Like, if he had done better in school, like he could have been in that.
Like,
if he had done better in school, he could have been shot.
Yeah, hey,
and
kid,
another college, yeah.
be careful not to do well in school.
Yeah.
You don't want to get shot.
So,
Fuck, man.
future Biff comes back to tell him to fuck off more, so you don't go to the technology-based local school.
Yeah.
Local college. Not local, but, you know, it's in the state.
I'm-
What were you saying?
Sorry, I just like was sitting on this. I remember coming home, in the car from like I was in grade school. I think I was in 2, 4, 6. What grade? 6, 8, 10, 12. Wait, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I was in 7th grade. Because I have 3 older sisters, and they're all
was this the oldest sister
Yeah.
or second oldest?
oldest.
Okay.
They're all 2 years. We're 2 years apart from each other. So if I was
Yeah.
in 7th, sister was in 9. One would be in 11th, and one would be a freshman. So I was in 7th grade. I remember coming home in the car, like on the way back from school. Actually, it was on the way to school because it happened early in the morning.
Yeah.
And my mom was like trying to get a hold of my sister. She was like freaking out. She was crying on the way there, and it was like fucking crazy. And then that summer, I would swim. Like in our area, there's like this swimming league. It's called NVSL.
Northern Virginia Swimming League.
Yeah.
Swimming League.
And there's like a ton of local pools around here, but if your team does well in the season and you're individually a good swimmer or diver, you get selected for like divisionals, and then on top of divisionals, it's like all stars. And we were at this all-star meet, and I remember there was like a moment of silence before the meet started because there was 3 people that went to that pool that would have been swimming that were killed. And I was like,
They were college swimmers?
no, yeah, but they were like
Or they were alumni of it or something?
kind of both.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they were freshmen. I think they were freshmen in college, but they were still like the oldest you can be to like swim in that summer league is 18. So if they were still 18, even though they were in college, you could come back and swim. But I remember being like, "Fuck, man, that was like that fucked with me, and that like still sticks with me today."
Yeah, the moment way more than 9/11 did for me.
Dude, I was too young.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were like in 2nd grade. Or
I was
first grade. First grade.
I was 5, I think.
No, you're in 1st grade.
2001, right?
Yes, you were like 6.
Yeah, so it was probably 1st grade.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember that it was just like freaky, a little freaky, but it didn't really like. You had something to be upset at.
Yeah.
You had this enemy that we were sold on, and it was like, you can't do that to America. I'm like fired up 19-year-old, but not fired enough to sign up for something. Fuck
that.
dying for anybody.
I will never go to the. I will never join the army.
I can't say I wouldn't die for a kid. That was my kid.
I'd die for a friend or a kid.
Or a friend or
family
or a future spouse or future significant other.
But here's the issue
I
with
wouldn't
the
die
military.
for anyone fucking else.
People that are so hopped up on the military, they'd be like, "Yeah, would you die for your brother? Would you die for your sister? Then why aren't you out there fighting on the front lines protecting them?" It's like, that's some crazy fucking logic. You can't protect them states away.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Or fucking
The
thousands of miles.
recruiters use that shit, you know, it's like, fuck that. But I'm cold enough to be able to joke about like something like 9/11. It's a difficult subject, but it's something that's gotten, I feel like the wars and this false patriotism we got going.
Yeah.
It somehow makes it seem like taboo, but not. Like a little bit not taboo.
Yeah, I know.
Like a little bit less, somehow less offensive than school shooting jokes, even though more people were affected by 9/11.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's gotten to a point where it's like generally accepted in a way that like people joke about 9/11 all the time.
Yeah.
School shooter ones, those don't. I don't know, man.
It's like insidious, man.
That's a weird. I think it's been too frequent and on too many different occasions. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't even personally like, even us talking about this and like we made a couple jokes about it, but it's nothing specific. It's not like
we joked like, okay, which one of us has the gene in us or whatever, or the personality trait that I think it's me, like comparatively. But
if we had to pick.
But I don't have it, like, to the extent that I'm like, I ever think about, man, I just want to fucking blow the world up, and I'm going to do it on this micro level with this. I'm going to go walk into a thing and do a thing. Like, no, I don't think that way, but I know, like, I have dark enough range of thoughts that
you
could
could
dwell
get, you
in
could
that
get,
zone.
Yeah.
And
I think
like
I do.
that
I think
person.
I do too.
And I don't root for bad guys in movies, but I don't like. I'm not like.
I kind of root for bad guys.
This is
in
the
movies
fucked up
sometimes.
part. In real life, though, I will not root against them. Like I might just like let's just see what happens.
I like being a bystander and watching.
It's like as if like something horrible happens in the world. Suddenly, I turn into like, oh, the world is Grand Theft Auto, and let's just play it out.
Yeah.
You know, and that's fucked up to me, because I know it's wrong. I know inherently it's wrong, and yet I'm so curious. Well, how high can this tally get? Or
yeah, I am too.
You know, that you really like it's. I don't think it's It's only wrong because we've subscribed to a moral code that's been taught to us by various elements of society and our family, and we know that it's clearly way far away from what that moral code is.
Yeah.
But if you have the self-awareness to think like, well, that's just something I'm thinking and not what I want to do, then that's okay.
Exactly.
It still doesn't feel great though.
It doesn't feel
great. I'd rather be the person that's like devastated and crying when something horrible happens instead of two feelings like numbness and curiosity.
Dude, I don't really. There's not a lot of things that get me like that numbness. It typically is like.
Good, man.
Nah, I don't know. Like
numbness is not.
Or no, actually, I think I said that backwards.
Oh.
There's unfortunately, I did. There's not a lot of things that like evoke strong emotion out of me.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I typically side with the like. If something tragic happens, I'm like looking at like how it happened, why it happened, and like I'm curious.
Yeah,
right?
it's a curiosity.
It's like
what
a
drove
curiosity
this person.
into like the darkness.
I don't want to know about the what the victim could have been. He was
I don't like looking at victim
and it's
stuff.
like
It's
I don't
fucked
care
up.
because the media has made us not care about that and curious about what's been snuffed out. We're curious about what has been reborn with yet another thing. Like it gives more fuel for the fire for the next person. And the media started that with Columbine. It already did that. I think in other elements like back in the day with like the gangsters and stuff.
Yeah, like other murders and like
serial
heinous
killers.
heinous things that happened.
Yeah.
If they're publicized in such a way where they get so much attention.
But like the event killers, that was really propped up by the coverage of Columbine. So I think without that, you probably don't have Virginia Tech guy. You don't have
like Sandy Hook,
Adam Lanza. You don't have Nicholas Cruz or whatever. And
see, I'm glad that I don't even remember the names.
Easy for me. My brain just picks up these facts. Like, and I don't seek it out really. It just absorbs it. And I remember I really credit my friend for when that Vegas shooting happened to tell me don't watch the news today.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, again?
Yeah,
She's
dude,
like, yeah.
Vegas one, that one's fucked up.
And it bothered me the least out of all of them because my friends rescued me on that.
Yeah. I know the Tech one, I think it was just the fact that we live in the state.
Yeah.
And it was like my sister was there at the time.
That was 1 and 2 for me.
Dude, Vegas though.
I mean, we're not gonna rank school shootings or public shootings, but
that'd be pretty fucking dark. Holy shit.
Because
this week's power rankings are in. Moving up to the number 2 spot, we've got Sandy Hook Elementary. Oh my god, I couldn't help myself.
Well, that one did seem real, so that was like lower on the scale for me.
I think that one's.
It was like, oh, well, that's
that one's almost the most fucked up, in my opinion. It's children.
Yeah,
it's just children.
Yeah, I know, but that dude had more issues than the other kids did. Like he had like some type of developmental disorder, right? Or developmental delay.
I mean, yeah, he had some issues
on
for
the
sure.
spectrum, right? Not just a murderer spectrum.
I mean, yeah, he was on the murder spectrum. He was also probably on the virginity spectrum.
Yeah, he was
probably on.
He was an incel.
I think the way to combat a lot of that media coverage is to just blatantly insult and like make fun of these shooters
and their families.
Just
kidding, not their families. No, I saw something by
I don't know,
a TED Talk or one of those sort of TED Talks. I don't watch a lot of those things. You know, I don't watch TED Talks.
Because they're very preachy.
They're very preachy, but the There was a TED Talk by the mother of one of the Columbine killers.
Really?
Dylan killed, whatever.
Yeah.
The second one, the bitch boy.
Yeah.
The guy that like ate the other guy's ass or whatever, allegedly or whatever.
Jesus.
There was a thing between them, allegedly.
Yeah, which one?
But but that proves what you're saying.
Yeah,
they should throw some more dirt on the grave.
Yeah, exactly.
Like oh, you killed yourself. Like, oh, that is it because you guys were into a relationship?
Is it because you was pitching too hard?
Yeah, and you know, like why'd you do that? Why'd you couldn't you get caught like a man or whatever? I don't know. We're really getting dark here now. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, this episode, I like I don't know, man. I have these. Without this podcast and without someone who's also a relatively dark person being able to express these thoughts, it's like it gets a little frustrating and like somewhat burdensome to like walk around with these like thoughts or these conceptions.
Who would have thought Miley Cyrus would have brought these out?
I don't know, but dude, you know what? She's sex positive, and so are we.
We are sex positive as fuck. We're not even done. I'm not done. Are you done?
No, I gotta take a piss though.
All right, go piss. We actually both urinated, not together.
I mean, we should do that sometime.
I want to, but I'm still a little scarred from people urinating.
Yeah, it's a small bathroom too.
It's a small bathroom, and there's no cliff for people to stand on. So,
dude, I crossed swords with this black guy at a Wiz Khalifa concert in a porta-john one time.
Really?
It was cool as shit.
Was it awesome?
It was really cool. It was like, hey man, don't matter, man, as long as I was like in there and he already came in and he was like, oh shit, bro. I was like, no man, it's all good. He was like, oh word, and like we just started pissing.
I was gonna say like we didn't do the Patreon and we're not going in tonight because I'm not gonna ask for money in the same time when we're talking about school shooting.
Yeah, they wouldn't know what they're funding.
Exactly. Precisely. Oh god. But yeah, back to the desire to rank everything and every like all the podcasts and things that rank stuff and like blogs and like websites that rank stuff. That is funny to me because like someone should rank horrible things.
It should, like, I'm imagining like a BuzzFeed like, take this test to find out which school shooter you are.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god.
You're like, that's
which school shooter are you? Which mass fucking murderer are you?
These 5 tips can help you get the most out of your guns.
Yeah. I got Jonesboro, Arkansas. Like, you're irrelevant.
Yeah. Or like a serial killer one.
Yeah, it's one of those irrelevant
serial killers. I got Ed Gein. Oh, I'm only 5'3". He was 6'6".
Yeah, okay, why are you white people so obsessed with serial killers?
I don't know, man.
I can say you white people.
You white people.
I'm not obsessed with serial killers. So, like, except for our Corey G can be into that shit. He likes fucking horror movies and stuff.
I don't know. I'm relatively into...
You're into real serial killers? So you're one of those whites.
No, see, here's the thing, though. And it's a weird phenomena that within, like, I would say within the past, like, and relatively recently, in the past year to like 2.5, 3 years, serial killers became fucking mainstream.
No, it's been longer than that.
No, there's been such a spike in like TV shows and all these things. I've been listening to
ID Network has had that shit for like 10 years.
Yeah, but the people that watch that were fucking like housewives and shit. Now it's like you get like teenage
podcasts. That was like 5 years ago. I was in therapy and the guy's like, hey, did you hear about this podcast? I know you do podcasts sometimes. Like,
what, was the last podcast?
No, it's My Favorite Murder or whatever. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Last podcast on the left, they're the only other podcast I listen to. I stay true to us. But they are some funny-ass fuckers because they shit on all these serial killers in the best way. They're one of the few people that do it that way. They don't it's not like, oh, come listen to all our dark information. It's like, this guy was a fucking tool. And he fucking chopped off his mom's head. Guess mom didn't give good enough head.
Yeah, did he fuck the head afterwards?
Yeah, what's his name? It may have been Ed Gein. He chopped off his mom's head and then I think he like fellatiated himself and then he kept the head in like a freezer. If it wasn't a freezer, it was like a box, like a cardboard box.
I feel like he went all the way, you know? Like he just went for it in life.
Yeah, just took, have you heard that expression? take life. You know, you got two hands in life. Have one of them grab a head, the other one grab a knife, and.
Yeah, you do, man. It's a good phrase. I have you ever had a dream about an event like that? Either a serial killer, like that you were a serial killer, or someone was coming after you, or that you were a part of a school shooting or a mass shooting from any element, or written anything about a shooting or.
No, I would probably shy away from writing stuff about a shooting.
Yeah,
that's like a slippery slope. The dreams is like, oh, I can't control it. All I do all day is think about school shootings. Why am I having school shootings?
Oh man, why I got a school shooting dream?
What? It's like 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. It's like.
Fucked up, man. It's fucked up.
Oh,
It's
God.
fucked up.
It is fucked up. I've never. And I hope I don't, because it would probably fuck with me real hard when I wake up. I mean, I have other stuff that's not even close to that level.
I've had it twice.
And when I wake up, it fucks with me. Like some really minor shit.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine, like, being in a school shooter.
I might have talked about it with Wendy once, but I had a dream that I was like at some school or something like that, and there was clearly a shooter, and people were like holed up in a room. I was just like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Because.
You want to just be a sitting duck.
Well, yeah. I'm like, I'm not a team player. I'm getting out, or I'm getting got.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
If there was a window, I always think.
And I think that's probably because I knew it was a dream. On some level, I was like, let's just play this out. And I just fucking ran, and I was fine. But I just kept running.
Did he see you or anything, or like trying to shoot you?
I was gonna make a call. No.
That's good.
I think he was like in the other hallway or some shit.
Okay. He's a pretty bad school shooter.
He's the worst. But we were just one of many classrooms, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And there's people were like freaking out in the room. I'm just like, oh, I'm fucking gone.
Dude.
And I feel like I'd either completely cower, or I would go rogue. I would not do one or the other. I know I wouldn't go rogue and like try to take someone down.
No, because they have guns.
Yeah, it's like all it takes is a hero with a gun. I'm not. I'll shoot myself if I have a gun. Point blank, like.
Be like, oh, you already got me. You maimed me.
You're right.
Let me be the one you don't kill. I'll share your story. I'll tell your legacy. You can write history. Spare me.
If I had a gun, 94% of the time, I would think about, not of all the time, but 94% of my gun-related thoughts or activities
would be
wanting
myself.
to think of killing myself. With
wanting
wanting
to. Be thinking of wanting to want.
Wanting to want, or wanting.
It's called
I
the
don't know.
second-order desire.
Second-order desire, yeah.
It's
and
really
5% would be killing everybody, and 1% would be, oh, maybe I could go to the gun range and
Maybe I
practice
could go
my
hunting.
marksmanship. Yeah, 1%.
The 1%.
The 1% of gun owners want to actually use it for
want to hunt.
marksmanship.
We're talking white-tailed deer.
Yeah, and it's
Occasionally
just like,
raccoons.
so someone asked me like, oh, why don't you support the Second Amendment? I'm like, because it's not designed for people with mental health problems.
Fuck no, man. Guns scare me now. I used to be like, I've gone to the gun range before, and I'm a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
And I've gone shooting with my dad before, and even like being around them, it's like, dude, they're like weapons of like mass destruction.
Did you think about like how? Maybe not. I don't want to lead you down this road, but like I'm going to. I mean, like, did you like think about not wanting to just
Oh, but are you? No, I know.
Or just like how easy it is to be like, I let my gun slip. I just shot my dick off on purpose.
No,
or like,
I've
I
had
blew
the thought.
my brains
It's like the
out,
same
or, like,
thought of
I
like.
would shot my dad or something.
It's like
that easily, because how do you control that level of thinking around something like that when you're unstable, or you're mostly stable, but you're always one thought leading to one weak action away from doing something to ruin your whole life.
Precisely. Like, I've been at the gun range before, and you're in like a little cubicle.
Yeah.
The only
That
thing
would set me off. A cubicle?
Oh,
I can't handle those
It'd
things.
be like Office. Imagine if Office Space had guns.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
No, it's like the only thing stopping you from turning around and just killing whomever you want in that moment is you. And
Yeah.
I've had the thought of like, man, I've had that exact thought being there. It's like, man, if I really wanted to, I could. Imagine if I wanted to, or if I don't have control to stop that thought.
I have those thoughts at the bowling alley. Like, what if I just threw the ball at this guy's head?
Exactly.
Imagine me with a fucking gun. I don't want a gun.
I
I don't think anyone should have guns.
part part of me, once we had someone that like kind of like came up to our door, we were still like awake watching TV,
Yeah.
and they like jostled the doorknob. That was freaky, and I literally told my dad, I'm like, for a situation like that, that's why I would want a gun. I would like keep it in a safe or something.
Wouldn't you rather like have it where like you have a wife that has a gun and it's always on her, except when you're about to like
I mean, women can't
fool
shoot.
around? They can shoot better.
I'm just kidding. I just had the low hanging fruit. I don't actually
They
mean
can shoot
it.
better on average because they follow directions more. They're like, oh, what am I supposed to do? What is the thing that should be done in this situation? I guess is a better way of phrasing that. Like, oh, follow this and track it with your eye and do that. Boom. Okay, cool.
Like, it would... Dude, if I, like, shot a home intruder, that would fucking sit with me forever. I would never, like... The thought of, like, me pulling the trigger and watching their guts splatter if I shot with, like, a shotgun.
Just take my stuff. Like, whatever. I'm such a bitch.
Yeah. You're like, if you don't take it, I'm gonna shoot you. I don't... Take that couch. You better take that couch.
What are you here for, man?
No, it's been on Craigslist for fucking 4 weeks.
Give me all your shit. Just fucking take it. I'm gonna stand here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call. I'm not gonna report it till you're way fucking gone, if that.
Yeah.
Just take it.
Just go.
I'm not going anywhere. Just you take it while I'm here.
My wife left me 2 weeks ago. Just take it.
Bye.